was one of golf's biggest stars. But when the cameras stopped rolling, Fuzzy Zoeller was spiraling out of control, always drunk and destroying his reputation. His infectious smile and whistling down the fairways once made him a fan favorite. But his path from major champion to industry outcast tells a story of how quickly everything can fall apart. But how did one of golf's biggest smiling faces lose everything? Frank Urban Zoeller Jr., nicknamed Fuzzy, simply from his initials FC, was born in New Albany, Indiana in 1951. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, Zoeller began his professional golf career in 1973 after attending Edison Junior College in Florida and then the University of Houston, a school known for producing golf talent. His big break came at Augusta National in 1979, where Zoeller did something almost impossible. As a rookie playing in his first ever Masters tournament, he captured the coveted green jacket. He became just the third golfer in history to win the Masters on his debut appearance, and the first since Gene Sarazen had done it 44 years earlier in 1935. The dramatic victory came through a sudden death playoff, the first ever used at the Masters. After Ed Snead collapsed with 3 straight bogeys to end his final round, Zoeller found himself in a 3-way playoff with Snead and Tom Watson. When Zoeller sank his winning birdie putt on the second playoff hole, he flung his putter into the air in pure joy. The rookie had conquered Augusta. 5 years later, Zoeller added another major championship to his resume, winning the 1984 U.S. Open at the brutal Winged Foot Golf Club. Again coming through in a playoff, this time against Greg Norman, Zoeller showed his competitive steel. During regulation play, when Norman made a long putt to force the playoff, Zoeller famously waved a white towel in mock surrender, showing his playful side. But in the 18-hole playoff the next day, he crushed Norman by 8 strokes, shooting a remarkable 67 to Norman's 75. Zoeller built his image as golf's fun-loving character. He was known for whistling as he walked the fairways, cracking jokes, and engaging with fans. His charismatic personality made him popular with galleries and fellow players alike. In recognition of his character, the USGA awarded him the Bob Jones Award in 1985, their highest honor for sportsmanship in golf. By 1986, Zoeller had collected a total of 10 PGA Tour victories, establishing himself as one of the game's elite players during his prime. With a wife, 4 children, and significant success on tour, Zoeller seemed to have it all. But beneath the surface of his carefree persona lurked a capacity for shocking misjudgment that would eventually define his legacy far more than his golf achievements. The turning point came in April 1997. A 21-year-old Tiger Woods had just shattered records at Augusta National, winning the Masters by 12 strokes with a tournament record 18 under par total. It was a historic moment. Woods became the first non-white golfer to win a major championship and the first person of African or Asian heritage to win the Masters. As the 1979 champion, Zoeller was asked by reporters for his thoughts on Woods' achievement. His response would permanently alter the course of his career and public image. "That little boy is driving well, and he's putting well," Zoeller said. "He's doing everything it takes to win. So you know what you guys do when he gets in here? You pat him on the back and say congratulations and enjoy it, and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year." As he walked away, Zoeller added, "Or collard greens or whatever the hell they serve." The backlash was immediate and severe. His comments, particularly the references to fried chicken and collard greens, foods historically used in racist stereotypes targeting African Americans, were widely condemned as racially insensitive and offensive. Media coverage amplified the remarks, leading to public outcry and accusations of racism. Zoeller quickly issued a public apology, appearing emotional and distressed in television interviews. He insisted his comments were intended as a joke, consistent with his reputation as a fun-loving person who frequently bantered about the champion's dinner menu. He cited examples of suggesting haggis for Nick Faldo or fish and chips for Nick Price after their wins. "I meant nothing by that," Zoeller claimed, denying any racial motivation. Tiger Woods initially expressed shock, but ultimately accepted Zoeller's apology, acknowledging that Zoeller was known as a jokester and concluding that no personal animosity toward me was intended. But the damage was done. Major sponsors Kmart and Dunlop immediately terminated their endorsement contracts with Zoeller. He withdrew from the Greater Greensboro Chrysler Classic tournament in the immediate aftermath. The financial and professional setback was substantial. Despite Woods' forgiveness, the incident attached itself permanently to Zoeller's identity. Reports noted that the remark followed Zoeller for the rest of his career, overshadowing decades of athletic achievement. His image as golf's smiling jokester had crumbled. Zoeller's career entered a decline. While he later secured a new apparel deal with Sport Haley, he never regained his former sponsorship status. Upon turning 50 in 2001, he transitioned to the Champions Tour, where he experienced modest success, winning the Senior PGA Championship in 2002 and the MasterCard Championship in 2004. But these achievements came in the shadow of his tarnished reputation. Then in 2007, Zoeller faced a different kind of public image challenge. False and defamatory statements were anonymously inserted into his biography page on Wikipedia. The malicious edits falsely claimed Zoeller suffered from alcohol and drug addiction and had engaged in domestic abuse. Zoeller traced the internet address to a Miami education consulting firm and filed a lawsuit alleging defamation, invasion of privacy, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. But several months later, he voluntarily withdrew the case, unable to identify the specific individual responsible for posting the harmful content. Although the offensive paragraph was removed from Wikipedia, reports indicated the false information had already spread to other websites, highlighting the challenges of containing online misinformation. Once again, Zoeller found himself powerless to fully repair damage to his public image. Following his active playing career, Zoeller attempted to rebuild his life and brand through various business ventures. He developed a presence in golf course architecture, designing 19 courses primarily in the Midwest. His most visible post-playing venture came with the creation of Fuzzy's Ultra Premium Vodka around 2009, an 80-proof vodka crafted from Midwestern corn. The vodka brand's marketing explicitly connected to Zoeller's persona and the game of golf, positioning itself as golfer's favorite vodka and emphasizing themes of fun and enjoyment, trying to recapture his former on-course image. He also marketed his own line of BBQ and steak sauces and premium dry rubs, but these efforts could never fully erase the stain on his legacy. A player once celebrated for significant on-course achievements, including 2 major championships under unique circumstances, found himself defined instead by an offensive comment in its aftermath. Today, Fuzzy Zoeller stands as a cautionary tale in professional sports. His story reminds us how quickly words can destroy what took decades to build. A champion golfer with a genuine talent for connecting with people threw it all away with a few thoughtless remarks. The man who once flung his putter skyward in triumph at Augusta National now represents one of golf's most tragic falls from grace. What remains is the lingering question of what might have been had the whistling, smiling Fuzzy Zoeller shown better judgment when the microphones were on. The lesson is clear. In the public eye, legacy isn't just built on achievement, but on character when it matters most. If you enjoyed this look at one of golf's most complex figures, make sure to like and subscribe for more stories from the world of sports.